Hey, what is up guys, Massive here, back to do another video, and today I'm going to showcase a game I played on Battle Base Beaverton. I don't think this map has ever been featured in an individual game cast on my channel before. This is going to be Zocom versus Marked of Kane, if I recall correctly, and versus Eclipse here, who has risen in the ranks quite a bit over the years. He's very much a top player now, and he competes even with players such as Bike Rush. On occasions I've seen him take games off of Bike Rush, though of course Bike Rush gets the best of him. Speaking of Bike Rush, I may have a show match against him next Saturday. That'd be very interesting. I'm, as of right now, planning my strategies versus him, and it'll be pretty fun. I haven't really been focusing much on gameplay the past couple months due to the role I've had in this community doing the community patch, as well as the 4K mod. I've spent years and thousands of hours on these various mods and patches to improve this game. It led to things like the harvester bug being fixed for everyone and for every mod in existence, so it was definitely worth the time and the effort. However, it did sacrifice my skill. I have to regain my skill. I have been making good progress on that, been playing Phoenix a bit. Had intense games versus Phoenix last week. Played 2 days of intense games versus him, and then afterwards I felt much better, felt like 10 times better than I did before. So Phoenix definitely a good player to practice against, for me at least. It would be nice to see him participate in show matches in the future. I myself, I want to play in more competitive 1v1 show matches, and I may even get involved in the 2v2s eventually. So I'm going to dig in a foxhole in this expansion field. And I've got that alt decal around my war factory once again. This map has very nice lighting. When I'm looking for screenshots, this is one of my go-to maps for them. I just like the lighting on this map a lot. I'm not sure who made it. I remember seeing the name in the map, but I can't remember who it was. He did only one map, but it's a great map. It plays very well in 1v1. A quick rundown of this map. Of course, I can't navigate to where I want because I'm casting this over my own first-person video here, but there's 2 blue fields in the middle of the map. Which are supposed to be one for each player. However, you can steal your opponent's field, which is what we often see. There's a lot of strategies that you can do. MCV moves are pretty popular on this map. One base all-ins can work as well due to the expansion distance. It's hard to reinforce from your war factory to your expansion because of just the distance between your war factory and there. I'm going for pred tanks. I'm going for my patented rig, guys. Yeah, that's of course. I'm going for a rig. Not often I've done this strategy lately, but it's going to be a rig rush as Zocom. Now, it's not the best rig rush in the world because you don't have regular orcas. You've got the Zocom orcas, which don't do a good job against nod units. Nod units move very quickly. Hard to hit with those sonic projectiles. I'm going for this APM upgrade because I'm anticipating a lot of EMP squads. One means of Marked of Kane to stop this would be to go for a bunch of Enlightened squads and Awaken. That's why I'm building APCs. I can also build aircraft. Zocom do get their ceramic armor for their Firehawks, which gives them 33% additional armor. A very good upgrade to have as Zocom. It's one of the reasons you play Zocom. You go without railguns, you go without juggernauts, but in return you get the better aircraft. Firehawks are amazing. They deal the same damage, but they've got 100% more health with that ceramic armor. It is crazy good, especially against the Scrin factions. Zocom, tailored to be played against Scrin. Now this rig was delayed, unfortunately for me, and I see a bunch of Scorpion tanks out here, so I've got to try and micro these APCs against Scorpion tanks. Never a good situation to be in as the Zocom player in this situation, and my rig is out of position too. I'm moving my MCV up onto the high ground. This is actually baiting some shots from these Scorpion tanks. Scorpion tanks can't hope to really destroy that. They will be forced to pull back. I'm going to aim to garrison some of these buildings up in the middle with some missile squads. And this game was pretty crazy. Absolutely crazy game. You guys know that the individual games I show on my channel are pretty crazy, and I just knocked the microphone wire. Hopefully that did not disconnect it. That would suck. But yeah, no panic leave, it is still recording. That building was unfortunately garrisoned. I gotta build a grenadier because I really need that. And this rig here is going to scare back those Scorpion tanks. He probably has the opportunity to go in and target that rig down, but we'll see what he decides to do. Scorpion tanks will retreat. Of course, the longer he spends focusing down the rig, the more time I'll be given to take out those Scorpion tanks with those APCs. The rig also deals considerable damage, and he may not know that I have a APC engineer. I mean, I could have had one there, I could have evac the engineer, put it inside of the rig. Maybe that's a good thing to synergize with the rig. Put a couple of engineers inside of APCs and just continuously heal that rig when it's low on health. You have to be pretty quick though on the repair. One bike there, which is kind of annoying. If that bike goes further into the tib field, it will get destroyed by those harvesters, which do wield rockets. I am Zocom, that's another feature of the faction. But these APCs just unable to accomplish very much on this map. I'm going for Zocom walkers to try and thin out the Scorpion tank numbers if I can. And I'm not really concerned about Venoms, because guess what? APCs shoot up, they kill Venoms. I'm going to use my radar scan here. I see a AA turret, so it looks like Eclipse has already anticipated these orcas coming his way. Let's see if I can find here. I've got a triple rocket garrison, because I moved my Conyard over there, and then I moved it to my expansion. So this is already a pretty crazy opening, isn't it? We've got a rig rush which didn't do anything at all, which led to me just fumbling around a little bit in the middle of this map. However, I am taking all of the blue Tiberium. As you see there, my harvester is taking some of it now. MCV took a little bit of damage before. I've got some buildings that I can garrison. These APCs moving over to the right side of the map. I'm trying to find a location. What I can do here is get center pod upgrade, and I can put those on top of those neutral structures. As of R20, you can no longer place center pods on enemy buildings. Now, I did receive some feedback on this saying you can use the repair tool to get the center pod off of an enemy building. And I thought to myself, what's the point of that? What's the point of that? And I even saw, what's his name, Greg Kasavin on the command school from 2008. He said that the only way to remove sensor pods on enemy buildings is to literally destroy the enemy building, or for the enemy building to sell their structure, which is just dumb. It's not good, and it's not intuitive either. Having to repair a structure to get a sensor pod removed, it's just not really intuitive design. You can put sensor pods still on enemy buildings. The cursor will be red, but it just won't attach to that structure. You can put it also on the ground next to your enemy. It's a really good ability, man. I mean, sensor pods were nerfed in 1.02 plus before, and I unnerfed the nerf that CGF did. It's now back to its original detection range. But yeah, stick them on units, stick them on terrain, stick them even on your own buildings. It's amazing. I recommend you guys do that as any faction, any GI faction. It's really necessary as Zocom, because you don't have really much to kill stealth tanks, so you need to see them come well in advance. Push coming into my base. I've got a bunch of Scorpion tanks to worry about. Also, these Venoms are upgraded with charged particle beams. I'm going to go ahead and take those out real quick. And there's a triple rocket garrison as well in the middle, so any units such as Venoms that flies over that building will get hit by those triple rockets. That's a lot of damage. Eclipse will need to get some Tiberium troopers to deal with that. But yeah, this game is heating up. MCV moving to my base. This is a classic combination. We've got Scorpion tanks, a triple MCV as well. And I am playing from behind because that rig did nothing. These APCs doing major damage. Those orcas, they got a whole salvo off on those Scorpion tanks, dealing massive damage. And these quad turret shredder turrets are also going to be an issue. Yeah, quad turrets have been fixed for a year now, so you guys, if you want to play the game in its incompleteness, without any crashes, desyncs, or bugs, just download and install R20 maps. You won't regret it. And get online and play some games, or even skirmish. Just play some skirmish games on R20. You'll have a better experience. There's also the tower defense and arcade maps now available in R20. You can find that on Your Horse's website, which is caneswrath.com. He somehow has that domain name registered, but you can get all the map packs on there and the 4K mod. So just go ahead and visit caneswrath.com after you watch this game, of course, and get all those things and start playing. It's as easy as that, guys. Just download and run the installers for all of the things on that site. There's no required knowledge for you. Redeemer fires off its ration, however that did miss. And I've got the Tiberium field suits. I actually meant to get the EMP grenades before that. That's unfortunate for me because I got these grenadiers but no EMP. I got the wrong upgrade first. And now the shredder turrets are starting to be spammed. I'm summoning in the infantry. Zocom Airborne. This Redeemer is pretty tanky. It's a tanky boy. It has 2 engineers inside of it, I think. Can't quite see it. Could have a tip trooper. It's not a good garrison slot. I think it's better to put a second engineer in a mock Redeemer. Harvest is getting taken out on the left side, and these turrets are starting to gather in strength. This MCV is also quite a problem. This Redeemer is just taking shots at my units. All my units are just one shot away from death. And now finally my EMP grenades upgrade does finish. These Zocom Orcas need to rearm and reload as quick as possible, because now there's a double obelisk drop, and this Redeemer is so low on health. I'm going to output as much damage as I can onto this Redeemer. I need to take it out at all costs, try and retain as much of my army alive as possible. This is a horrible matchup for me as Zocom, because I don't have artillery units. I don't have juggernauts to deal with those obelisks. And now these defenses are encroaching closer and closer to my base. The Conyard's moving towards me as well, and I don't have a TF3, I don't have a Marv, I've got barely any harvests happening over here, so it is very tricky for me at the moment. There's 2 avatars on the left hand side. I may send my Zocom Walkers over there and deal with those. But yeah, these turrets don't deal significant damage to vehicles. Still intimidating. It's definitely going to bait some shots. I'm going to start focusing down these obelisks here as well. One of them does fall to the aid of those Zocom Walkers. You can use them as like bombers as well, because they output all their ammo in one go, so they're great at quick burst damage. That's the real strength of Zocom Walkers. Many people think, like Charles and co, they think that Zocom Walkers are not because they expend all their ammunition quickly. Well, that's a feature, because you can get out of the anti-air of your opponent quicker. You know, it's not always desirable to have this huge delay between shots, because the Zocom Walker will be in the anti-air for longer periods of time, and you can control the distribution of the Orca's shots by just pressing S on your keyboard after each shot. Make sure your Zocom Walkers are on hold fire stance as well, so they don't expend their ammunition. So I'm going to go ahead and attack this base once again. I'm going for the War Factory because I think there's a second MCV coming out of this, so if I can destroy this War Factory, then maybe I can deny that. It's an avatar which does come out, so that was not what I wanted to see. The War Factory does fall though, but I did go for the right choice there, because a second MCV, if I had Kane come out there, then it would have just dropped a couple SAM turrets, and then these Orcas of mine would have been useless. So my Orcas are saving the day. This Zocom position on Battle Base Beaverton is still going. Those 2 avatars get taken out, and look at the strength of this Zocom aircraft. Crazy amounts of damage from those Zocom Walkers. A great highlight indeed for this unit. We got another MCV for Eclipse on the where my original base was, so I'm going to have to try and clear him from this position as well. He's got those Orcas as well, but I've got a AA battery and several APCs, so Venoms aren't really a threat. The only thing I'm really concerned about are the stealth tanks, of which I haven't seen any yet, but I really need to be paying attention for that. At the moment, my objective is to clear out this base and to take out this Conyard. I'm putting as much DPS onto this as possible, even summoning in the Zocom Orca Strike. Got a Grenadier as well there to clear out that building, and this game has been pretty non-stop in action. Absolutely crazy amounts of action. I don't think we've had a dull moment at all. There's 2 more avatars focusing on my War Factory. Another obelisk gets deployed there, but the MCV does fall, and this defense, it has almost prevailed. I'm just waiting a second longer there so I can efficiently utilize those Zocom Orcas, not expend any ammunition. There's a stealthed avatar there. He spent $3 on that, but guess what? I can spend $300 and kill that avatar. So that was a very cost ineffective thing for him to do. It's best to do it when your opponent has already used the radar scan, because the radar scan has a pretty big cooldown, and that's going to be GG. And I thought that's a really good game there on Battle Base Beaverton, showcasing the power of Zocom, showcasing a game where if you don't give up, there's always a chance to win. And that was really fun there, guys, and I hope you all enjoyed that. And if you did, don't forget to smash the like button. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, stay tuned to my channel, because I got more content to come. And a big thank you to my Patreon supporters for supporting my channel and supporting everything I do. So yeah, guys, this is me, Master Leaf. Peace out.